see. Patient come with time, just keep on believing. Yeah, we got to stay prayed up when it don't feel like enough. Hold on to the grind, come renew your mind, yeah.
Let's talk, let's talk. Hanging in my Cadillac with Rayla. Let's talk, let's talk. Hanging in my Cadillac with Rayla. You gotta know.
What's up, YouTube world? This is your girl Rayla back with Let's Talk. Oh, it's been forever. Talk where we encourage, empower, and enlighten. We keep it lit. We stay enlightened. I'm very excited to be making another video, guys. Life has been a little crazy, I'm not gonna lie, but God is good. We're still here, we're still breathing, and that is enough within itself to be thankful about, right? I do have something really quickly that I want to share with you. It's been something that's kind of been in the back of my brain, and I just have been trying to find the time to talk about it. But it's something that I've personally been learning, and I feel like will be a beneficial topic to discuss, especially for my generation and you know, our attitude about it that we typically see from a cultural standpoint. And also just from like our worldview of how we view this very topic, and that's money. Money, 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 money. And I know for me, when I think about money or talk about money or my experience with money, I haven't always made the wisest decisions. For those who have been following the page for a while, there was a segment I did talking about breaking up with struggle. Right, and I was talking about how I had recently gone into credit card debt consolidation type of thing, and the difficulty I was having with basically going from being dependent on nothing but credit cards to actually having to learn how to save, and breaking up with the struggle of being on that rat wheel of debt, right? And so since then, I've come into a lot of awarenesses, and I just want to share that with y'all today. Let's get into it. Something that I've learned in regards to my personal experience with money is I believe a lot of times when we grow up a certain way, and don't get me wrong, I didn't grow up impoverished. I had what most would consider a very comfortable life, but there was struggle at times, you know, especially after the divorce of my parents. It was just my mom and her daughter, right? And you know, we had to figure it out, and there was a lot of struggle there, but it was just never presented to me that we were struggling. But as I grew older, I saw that it was difficult, it was hard, and you know, we would have to make ends meet like any other single parent home, right? And sometimes when you do witness that, when you witness the struggle of your parents and you just want to escape that so badly, money can become very impressive very easily, right? You can be impressed by money. Money can become very impressionable upon someone who has dealt with struggle. And so that can become like a top thing on your list to accomplish, or it can become something that's so innately in your DNA to try to change the trajectory of a future. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't want that, but it can kind of become too much of a goal if we're not careful. And another thing I learned is that when you do, or you are in a position to where you are struggling, or you're watching your mom struggle or your dad struggle, or them struggle as a unit, it's easy to be moved by money as well. I remember when I was getting unemployment, and that was the most money I had ever made, and I was not used to seeing that amount in my direct deposit. I wasn't used to seeing those kind of figures, and so I was kind of impressed by it. And then I look back a year or so later, and I'm like, what did I do with all of that? You know, where did all of that money go? But because Rayla was so impressed by it, then she made unwise decisions. And I believe anything that you're impressed by, if we're not careful, can lead us to make unhealthy and unwise decisions. And so Money Talks, Tell It to Be Quiet, is the title that kept reoccurring to me, because everyone says that, right? And in a lot of ways, unfortunately, that's true. Money does talk. in a lot of rooms, a lot of boardrooms, a lot of decision making, from the government to the pharmaceutical world to the educational system. It talks in a lot of different arenas, whether legal or not. Things are businesses first. We would like to say that the medical field, hospitals, and things like that are for sick people, and they are. However, the more money you have, more than likely the better of treatment you're going to get, or the best of treatment you're going to get. Why? Because the medical field is a business first. They're going to prescribe you something as opposed to telling you to change your diet first, because the pharmaceutical industry is too big of a business to tell you how you can really do this naturally, right? The educational system is for you to get an education. However, you're going to pay a pretty penny or be in tons of debt when you leave, because it's a business first. So there's a lot of things in the world that are business oriented, or money. Let's just call it what it is, money oriented. And even though it has the facade of wanting to help, there comes a price with it, right? And that's just across the board. It's very difficult to escape that. But I know for me personally, especially when I took on this job, I went into it like, Lord, look, I don't want to be moved by money. I don't want my life story to be me chasing another dollar, or me to be chasing another bag or another way to get my money up. Not saying that that's wrong, but I don't want to live life constantly chasing that, because it's fleeting. It's fleeting. The dollar bill right now is losing value as we speak, right? Inflation is taking place. Like, why would I want to spend all of my time investing, or at least fantasizing or obsessing over what I have in my bank account? And I feel like that's very much so a cultural thing that we're dealing with right now, especially as youth, young adults. A lot of stuff pertains to what you have, the amount of money that you have, how successful you are. And a lot of that can draw back to how much money you make, because it's very impressive, as opposed to saying, Lord, no, I don't want to be moved by money. I want money to be nothing more to me than a toothbrush that I use to brush my teeth in the morning. It's a resource. It's a resource. It's a resource. It's not my source. And I think for me, that's been the biggest thing. I did not want money for me to become my source. I did not want money for me to become the end of all. I did not want money to become my God, because it absolutely can, and it does every single day. Money is God to a lot of people. And you may not see it that way, you may not recognize it that way, or they may not identify it that way. But when it becomes your goal, when it becomes your focal point, when it becomes your a sense of worship is developed around having this and having this amount and what you got, then it's your God. It's something that you worship. It's something that you hold in high esteem. And in 1 Timothy 6:17, it says, instruct those who are rich in the present age not to be arrogant or set their hope, right? Becomes your God. Set their hope on the uncertainty of wealth. I underline that. Uncertainty of wealth, meaning that it's not for certain, meaning that it's not stable, meaning that it's fleeting, meaning that it's here today, gone tomorrow. To not set their hope on the uncertainty of wealth, but on God, who richly provides us with all things to enjoy. Remember when I said I want money to be a resource and not my source? This is basically what it's saying. Do not allow wealth, having, money, glitz, glam to be your source, because it's not going to get you anywhere. And if it does, it's going to be very, very short-lived, right? But allow God to be your source, because He is the one who richly provides us with everything, right? He is the source. Your job is not your source. He is the one who gave you the job. Money is not your source. He is the one that enabled you to have that. Your car is not your source. He is the one that allowed you to get in it and drive it. There's a lot of things that we mix up being our source when it's really just meant to be and designed to be a resource. And you know how God is the source of even money and paper? Where does it come from? What comes out of the ground? And how do you think what got in the ground got there in the first place? He created the universe, right? He created the earth. He created the planet that we live on right now and inhabit and walk around on, that's spinning right now. We can't even feel it. He created all of this. And so if you really think about it, he created and gave us the ability to have money in the first place. Because before it's green with the president's face on it and the face value and all that, before it is an actual bill, it is a treat. It is a resource given to us by the source. And so I just want to leave that with you, that God has to always be our source. Because if we're not careful, we will find ourselves looking to temporary things, fleeting things, uncertain things to hold us, to undergird us, that do not have the capabilities to do so. They do not carry the capability to do it. And I know the world may have you thinking that it can. I know the world may have you think that the more money you have, the more stable you are, or the more things you have, the more certain your life is or will be. It's not true. That is inaccurate. And unfortunately, that's the picture that's painted for a lot of people. And that's why so many people are always reaching for more, never having contentment in where they are, never being able to do well and be faithful with much just as much as they are with little, and vice versa. And I just pray that those watching will take a self-examination of yourself to say, really, how do I see money? Do I see money as from an impoverished state of mind? Do I see money as nothing but a resource? No different than this bed that I'm sitting in and lay on and go to sleep in is used for just that? Or do I see it as more? Do I have an unhealthy relationship with money? So I leave you with money talks, but turn the volume down. Money talks, but it doesn't have to keep talking to you. Money talks, but tell it to be quiet, because you have authority over it. And the sad part is money has authority over a lot of people because they never took the time to really think that money is just a resource. Money is just something I use. But I love you guys, and I hope that this somewhat short video, I don't even know how long it is, but I hope that it did help in a sense, just for you to really, again, think about how important money is to you, and wealth and having and material things, how it all plays a part in your life and your perspective on it, and hopefully, jump-starting you to have a healthier perspective of money and of having it, and not being waved by it, not being moved by it, not being impressed by it, because it's here today, gone tomorrow. It's fleeting. And with any resource that God gives us, we want to have it. We don't want it to have us. But I thank you so much for joining me today, y'all. I know videos have been so far in between. I know. And I'm sorry. But I did want to get on and just do something, say something, because it's been busy. It's been really busy. And but I do not forget Let's Talk. I think about y'all every day. I think about the channel every day. I'm like, I haven't done anything in a while. But I am working on something that hopefully will be out very soon. It's somewhat like I don't want to say a music video, but it's poetry. A poem that I wrote a little while ago. I'm wanting to do like a visual video type thing with and share the poem with you guys. So hopefully that's in the works, and hopefully it'll be to you very soon. But I love you guys dearly, and I of course am praying for you guys that everything is going well, that y'all are prospering in this world that we are living in, child. It's been crazy, but God is still good. He's still in control. I find rest and I find peace in knowing that someone greater than myself has got my back, and he's got my family. He's got you guys watching, and I hope you guys know that. Despite what you see on the media, despite what you see in the news, despite the gas prices, despite everything going on, he is still God. He's still God. Everything that he allows doesn't always feel good, but he's still God. So he's not entitled for it to meet your feelings. Right? Let's just be real. He's not designed to make sure your feelings are not hurt. But he is designed to make sure that your purpose is being done in the earth. And that doesn't always feel good, but it's for your good. So stay encouraged. I will see you guys very, very soon. Keep a lookout for more content, you guys. Again, I know it's far and in between. I know. Don't come at me. Don't come for me. But again, as soon as I'm able to give out is when I will. And so I love y'all. God bless. Don't forget to come back and see your girl here at Let's Talk, where we encourage, empower, and keep it lit. Stay enlightened.
Let's talk. Let's talk.